Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Motion RC Live for this month of May with our standard live show. Happy to be back after what was a great last weekend. To finish off April, we were down in Top Gun, as you might have noticed with all the videos that popped up in the past week. I went down there to meet up with Wes and Lori, and we had a great time for 5 days. So let's bring in our two-trophy champion here. Wesley Miller, man, that was awesome.
Hey guys, yeah, good to be here again today. Having a great time, man. Top Gun, what a dream come true to get to compete, and more even awesome is bringing home 2 trophies from Top Gun. Amazing.
That was great for for your first time, and obviously the nerves that you're probably going through, and anyone who enters a competition to get judged on your RC
Right.
flying.
The
You did
Super
great,
Bowl
man.
RC here, yeah.
You
It's
did
great.
great. It was an interesting event to be a part of. I personally had never gotten a chance to go to Top Gun. I've for certain seen past videos and things like that. And saw how it's always highly respected and highly sought after, and the best people usually head down there to do it. So it was great to be there. It was the 35th year of Top Gun,
Yeah.
actually. So that was kind of special to be down there for that. The only thing that was the downer was the weather all week.
Yeah, but to be honest, though, we got some really good breaks in it that gave us great flying. I mean, it sucked that it was raining, but in between the rain breaks, the weather was great for flying because the wind really held down. Because I've been out at Top Gun before, and it's 35-mile-an-hour crosswind, and that's really rough compared to that rain. A
Yeah,
lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
broken stuff then. So we got really lucky as far as that goes. But yeah, and I mean, it wasn't too hot. I don't remember us sweating to death out there. So,
Yeah, no,
it's
no,
an
no.
interesting.
Great for staying there, and again, it held out. So what ended up happening was Sunday was going to be a wash, and they figured that out very early on in the
Early.
week. So you flew one round Wednesday, and normally, so for a lot of people who don't know, there's numerous classes, and a lot
Yes.
of the classes only get judged Wednesday to Friday, and then a bunch of other classes would usually get judged Saturday and Sunday, and then all the awards, at the close. I got there Thursday morning, so you had already done a flight, and then immediately they were looking ahead to the weekend. The weather was looking awful for Saturday and
Correct.
Sunday, so they decided to start pushing up the rounds. So I think they were able to complete everything. Like you did 2 rounds Thursday, 2 rounds Friday.
Let's see. I
Or I
did
guess only
one
one
round
round
the first
for
day.
Friday,
I did one
two on
round the second
Thursday.
day, 2 on Friday, and then we ended up flying all 4 of the EDF rounds on Saturday, which was
Yeah,
a
that
lot of
was
flying and a lot of chaos on that one.
because then that's mixed in with Masters, and there was
Yes,
Unlimited was a event. There was
correct.
Team event that all gets done on Saturday. So the way they do it is they have 4 pilot stations with 2 judges at each station, so 8 total judges. With the goal is you never get the same pair of judges for the class you're in, if that
Correct.
is the case. And then for a lot of the classes, you can throw out one round. So whatever your lowest round is, you can toss it. But then for those main awards at the end, those I think you got judged on all 4 rounds. The best 4 rounds.
So for the Frank Tiano Award, it is the judging of all 4 rounds, and this can be won by any person in any class, no matter what it is. It's just for the overall highest score at Top Gun on that one.
Gotcha.
And all the other ones, though, Mr. Top Gun and those are all on the 3-round rule. And Mr. Top Gun, you have to have built the airplane and designed the airplane to win that trophy. So,
Gotcha. So yeah,
right.
Rob took that down.
And
That
and
was that was
for
cool.
guys that were curious, to answer, I've seen some of these questions online and things like, how am I competing with a stock EDF? So there's different classes. So EDF, it has to be a box stock uh, airplane that's made out of foam. You can't compete in that with a composite airplane, nothing else. That class is just designed for that. It was set up so guys that fly EDF and don't really build the big turbines and things get a chance to play at Top Gun. But you can't win Mr. Top Gun in that class. You can only win EDF. and it is completely based on your flying skills for that class. Now, if you go to Pro Jet, you can still fly an EDF in that class. At that point, you can also do composite airplanes and that kind of stuff. So, they separate it out to where none of the foam airplanes are competing against the big planes you're seeing on screen right now. And then same thing with ARFs. ARFs can compete in sportsman and pro prop, but they can't go into the master's class. And in that point, you have to have built your airplane. So I've seen some guys asking how we competed with the airplanes we competed with, and that's how. It just depends on the class you're in. So yeah.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah, and that makes sense. I mean, again, it was your first time. You did 2 of what would be, the easier, but I think you've got the itch now, right?
Oh yeah,
You want to
I got
get back.
the itch. So my Top Gun airplane for next year for Pro Jet is getting delivered hopefully next week by Mr. McGee. And I'm going to get started on it. So I'm doing a full custom F-106. So
Whoa.
it'll be a pretty cool airplane. So we'll
Wow.
give you updates as I go. This will be my first turbine airplane. I'm working on my turbine waiver right now. I'm going all in, guys. You know me. I've got the itch. I've got the chance to do it. So I'm going to do it.
And looking at some of the comments here, will we be at Joe Nall? Bob, I'm saying Alex, yeah, I haven't told you yet, but me and you might be stopping by Joe Nall. Joe Nall's next Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, cool.
So we may be going Saturday and Sunday. We're only 3 hours away. I
don't know if the Florida team's going to make it up there, but yeah, I think the Georgia
Sunday's
team
always
might.
the noontime demo. So
Sunday's always...
No, the first weekend, the first Sunday.
Oh, gotcha.
The first Saturday, first Sunday. Yeah, we may go to stop by, fly some planes, hang out, film a little bit, see it. But we're not staying for the whole time. Again, I was just away. Alex didn't get a chance to come down with us to Top Gun. He had a family up here. It was your birthday.
Yep.
It was too much for him. Came up, so I only went down for this one. So pardon that my footage wasn't as crisp as it would have been
It
if
looks
Alex was there.
beautiful to me, James. You
We did
a
all
great
right, man.
job.
That highlight video turned out well.
Man.
And overall, it was. I hope what I hope to bring you guys, because again, I don't think a lot of maybe people wouldn't see just like full flights from the way it would be judged. So they're kind of boring, but they're also kind of awesome because I'm sure everybody who watched the 3 rounds that I put up, like all 3 of your sportsman rounds, to see, they can look and be like, was that a perfect Immelman? Nope,
Right.
he twisted it there. Like the little things that you get judged on that, might look great from, an average Joe, but might not be great as far as the judges go because they're seeing
this
it
shot
all the
that's
time.
on the screen right now where the King Air, that was the shot of the weekend for me right there that you got.
He saved it. Now,
He saved it
I
until
wasn't
the end.
until the end. That poor aircraft, which was awesome, on the last flight of Saturday. The
Period.
last flight
They
of
were
Top
closing
Gun,
it
like,
out.
because Sunday was being closed down. He had the King Air up, and my wife calls me, video phone. I just walk out to the flight line to show her, and I'm going like this, and he puts it
stalled,
in.
and I mean, just
It stalled, and he put it in. Apparently, he just in a rush didn't plug in 2 cells on his battery or something. Like he had enough power, but didn't have enough milliamp power for the length of time he normally flies it. So he just ran out of power at the worst possible time, and with no height to gain any speed. And
it hurt to watch that. I see
and then
Jerry.
a bunch of
This cracks me up. So Motion RC airplanes in the EDF class got 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th.
it was pretty good. It was good.
Yeah.
It was the AL-37. You had them.
Yeah,
The
AL-37.
Eurofighter and the T-33 were the top 3.
What did Jerry
And
fly?
Jerry was right there behind
Jerry
me with
flat
his
in
F4.
F4.
Yep,
He
he
had
was
his
right
F4.
in there for the top 5.
I think there might have been another T-33 that I saw that was in there. And then the A6 Intruder.
Competition for EDF class this year was on fire. I think there was only like 1 or 2 points separating everybody. Like it was tough this year to place an EDF. So
It's good. It's cool because it's all about flying. But again, it's one of the things that are tough when you have, like, if I would have taken,
do it.
Oh, he's doing it. Hey man, that
Why
was
not?
Thursday. So
James was like passed out here.
hey, after I drove all day Wednesday. I'm standing out there Thursday when it was hot. Standing out there for 4 hours filming airplanes. I took a seat.
Lori
had a
looks
water,
over and she's like, "Look at James."
took a seat, and I happened to fall asleep for like 10 minutes.
Big dad.
A nice big dad energy. But hey, we got it done.
Yeah.
We got it done.
No, we got it done. And you know, guys, I hope y'all have enjoyed all the content that's come from Top Gun. I can see that it is, because man, we've got so many views on the content from out there. I think everybody's really enjoyed it. So hopefully we
I
can
think
do
Top
that
Gun's
again
the kind
for
of thing
you
that
next time.
draws the right attention. I wish I had more, like in my head thinking back on it, I wish I would have filmed some of the people you were competing with, like their full
Right.
flights. But a lot of times you were up with them and didn't really know who you were competing with until afterwards, you know? So it's like, I can't sit there and film every single flight of everybody,
Right.
because there's multiple classes up at the same time. And then, like, yeah, to figure out, because it would have been nice to have a comparison to know that, all right, Wes is flying the Zero really great, but the guy who won that class, who's flying the gray L-39, or
He
no?
was flying the tan L-39, that gigantic
L-39.
urban one. Yeah. So, and he was flying it perfect. I mean, everybody that watched him, I watched him once. I mean, the guy made no faults. The guy that got me in sportsman class made no faults. And the cool thing about sportsman is next year I don't have to compete against him again, because if you ever win sportsman, you're not allowed to fly in it again.
Gotcha. You're automatically
You have
back.
to go into the pro series. Yeah, into pro prop and pro jet. So,
but that's another thing that's tough. Like, you know, looking at it is, again, you're being judged on the movements, and you can only do movements that the real aircraft would have done. So in
Right.
like a sportsman class, you could have a B-24 going up against an aerobatic jet, and it's like,
right.
you know, these guys are going to be judging descending 360s and slow straight passes of a B-24 versus a guy who's inverted. You know, like it's you know, I don't envy them. They're judging them on their own, you know, their own method. But it's tough. But anyway, it's
Same
fun.
thing when you have one of those easier flying planes, though. When you make a mistake, they hit you really hard for that mistake.
Really hard.
though.
Gotcha.
So, you know,
Let's talk about mistakes.
they get, yeah. Here, you want to talk about mistakes?
Oh no, that was terrible. Oh, I forgot to give
What a
you my
lead-in.
I forgot to give you the footage of, because remember I did this exact thing
Oh yeah.
with the free wing T-33 at CCRC.
Oh, yeah, James flew
I
through
saw it
one.
in my
Yeah.
flash.
It looked exactly like this.
Yeah.
And so when I saw it even out there, I'm like, oh, that looks familiar, because this thing looks like a T-33 in essence, but it's the MB-339 Air Mach-E. Really cool aircraft. And I feel bad. I mean, obviously, I never got a chance to meet them. I was just filming the demos, and it happened, you know, and Lori happened to catch it from another angle she was on slow-mo at the time, but you know, now looking back on it, I think the people are right, where I think he had a flame out. I think he was out of power.
Out of power and just flew into it, right?
So he was trying to
I see a
glide
guy
it
asking
in.
down here about how you lose points and stuff. If you'll give me a second, I'm gonna walk off and grab my scorecards, and we can actually go over some of those things. With
Yeah,
you
go
guys.
grab it.
Yeah, if you'll cut back to the video here, I'm gonna walk off for just a second.
All right.
From what I was seeing,
grab something.
you know, I'll try to talk a little bit, you know, because obviously I was standing there next to a lot of the judges all the time, and you know, a lot of times it's your approach, like on landing, you know, landing would be a maneuver. You know, if your approach was a little too fast for what they're trying to judge it based on what they believe the real aircraft would have to look like as it came in. So, you know, you could be judged for being too much speed, your approach being too short or too long. Like, you know, from the moment you say, every time you're about to do a maneuver, you would have to let the judge know, right, maneuver begin. So from that point on, you're being judged until you say maneuver complete. Because there were a couple times even you saw in the videos, Wes, you know, just was messing around in the air because he was trying to create some separation between him and the next person so he could do his maneuver, you know, and you're not being judged on those things. But the second you say maneuver begin, then you're being judged. But Wes, you got them?
Lori's grabbing him out of the trailer right
Okay.
now. But yeah, I'm here again. But exactly what he's saying. So if you're coming in to land, per se, you never want to call maneuver begin until you know you're established and you're going to land. Because up until you say maneuver begin, you can bail out and go around and do whatever you want. But the second you say landing begin, you have to land the airplane. And same thing, let's say your gear don't come out for some reason. You can call an emergency landing. and you can land and get scored on an emergency landing. And I did have to belly land one time at the event, but lucky enough, I didn't have to get scored on that. So it was during a time where I was flying in a practice round. But you can actually still get a perfect 10 on an emergency landing. You just have to call it that way. So if you forget in your head to change your last maneuver to an emergency landing, then you don't get the points for it. You get a 0. So, it's
like
it's
one
really
time
cool.
one of your
Maneuvers. Everything.
One of your maneuvers was the touch and go, and I think one time your touch and go wasn't perfect. You bounced it a couple times, so like you can tell clearly. All right, he got docked for that.
Right.
Yeah, there were a couple of moments though where you were like, "That should have been a 10."
If you ever want to know, you actually get cards, and if y'all want, I can actually take pictures of these and put them up online if y'all want on the Motion RC customer community later. This is why we did this. So anything you want to know about the event, I'm happy to share this with you. I want guys to be interested in that. That's how we grow things like this. But so I have a few here. I've got my Eurofighter scores. They didn't really dock me on much on that. I got almost a perfect score on that, so that one didn't get any hits. Here's one for the 0 flight. This would be the 3rd flight, which I know that video is up if you want to go back and watch that video. So on my comment section, during my fast pass, I had an altitude change. So when you come through on a fast pass, you want to enter at one location and exit your maneuver at the same location. And I was climbing during the whole maneuver. So they docked me for that. And then for my Immelman, so up and over, where I came in at, I came over and the wind had pushed me over. So you have to correct with rudder. So I entered on this leg and I exited over off to the side because the wind had pushed me over, and I didn't correct with rudder. And they gave me that right there of where I lost that point. So instead of getting a 100, I got a 98. I mean, it was that close. That was all they got me on that one. So, and yeah, there's all the scores. I don't know if you can read them or not, but I doubt it. It's all blown out. We'll get it later. We'll get it later for you. But yeah, I have these.
Yeah, overall, it's cool, and it's just really it's a competition of consistency. Obviously, you have a year from right now. If you want to be in Top Gun, go out and practice 8 maneuvers with one plane perfectly, and you'll be ready to go in a year's time.
And it's an invitation only. So if you want to come to Top Gun, you have to pre-register. You need to call. You can still do it. You need to call Frank Tiano Industries or email them, and you need to request to be allowed to come fly in Top Gun. That's the other part of that, though. And you've got to tell them what kind of plane you're going to be flying, that kind of stuff. So if it's something you're interested in, you can do this, but you can't just show up. That's not allowed.
But anything, I would say, if you're not going to fly in it, just show up to see it, because it's
right.
It's worth it. All the stuff you're going to see, all the big stuff, all the custom stuff, it's cool to see that stuff when you do get to see it. Good morning, Wingman. Good morning, everybody else, if I haven't said that already. But
oh man, I'm kind of thirsty.
It does, definitely, Bob. It does take a lot of practice. I give Wes a lot of credit. He's drinking out of. That's the sportsman one. You use the 3rd place one for.
That's right. That's my cup right now.
There you go. Eat cereal out of the other one. Eat your bowl of Wheaties.
Right.
No, it was awesome, man. I'm glad you even placed. Who would have known? Like, you could only guess going in, but for you to have placed and the fun we had, met a lot of great people there, and yeah, man, excited to definitely looking forward to going back. Going back next year. So, yeah, well, that does it for our Top Gun recap. So yeah, all footage has now been expelled, and if you want to see any of that, it's up there forever. So let's move on. We got the community tour. This is a section of the show where we go through the best of what we saw.
Speaking of Top Gun again.
Out there. And speaking of Top Gun, William Jackson, you might remember William Jackson, foamy customizer extraordinaire, at least as of recently. He was at the event. He was in the tent right next to us. It was awesome to actually meet him in person, him and his wife. Yeah, and he had his two... he brought his two. I think he entered the EDF class, and he had his. Yep. He had 2 of his HSD F-86s.
F-86s, all
two
customized,
that he shows, and he got an award the night before, just judged on scale, I guess. You know, just
best
on
EDF refinished, basically, and that was
yeah,
actually sponsored by us, Motion RC.
sponsored by us. So it was nice. He got a little crystal award at the banquet the night before with his plane. Seeing his work up close, really, really awesome.
Oh my gosh, amazing. He had leading edge slats in that were spring loaded. And I mean, like everything you could add detail wise, landing lights that popped out. I mean, it was crazy the stuff he had added to that airplane.
Yeah. So if you want to check him out, you could always, there's a Facebook group. He didn't create it, but I think he's a moderator, fans of William Jackson. So
Right.
you could find that on Facebook, but it's awesome. He's a good dude and was happy to meet him. What do we got next? Wildman. So this was Wildman is Wildman on Hobby Squawk. This was shared to us. So he just had his Flightline OV10 with a little paint job on it. I thought it was pretty cool. Top and bottom look a little different. So you can see it better. Said he enjoyed the plane, but he shared that in the group for this page. So that was awesome. Now this is a new site. I only saw that this came in from Nexa, but we got the Nexa ugly stick. Always fun to fly a good ugly stick. So what's his name? Tom Butler. Tom Butler put one together, and he's gonna go take it out.
Awesome.
So posted this over in the community. Yeah, they're just fun to fly. They're like very basic, and just you can really rip those things up.
I've got a 9cc gas engine here that would go on that and be a lot of fun. One of these
We
days, maybe.
We might have to get you one there. For pilots Michael Raj has a question. For pilots in the same class, do they all do the same maneuvers? No.
No.
You choose whatever 8 maneuvers you think is the best for your aircraft. Again, a lot of planes can't do the same maneuvers. So, again, if you have a bomber versus someone with a fighter plane, there's certain maneuvers you can't do that the fighter can. You're just judged on what your aircraft can do and how you perform those maneuvers.
Yeah. There are 4 mandatory maneuvers for all airplanes out there. That would be takeoff, fast pass, slow pass, landing. Those are your 4 maneuvers you have to do every round, no matter what airplane you have.
Well, takeoff and landing you have to do just to be in the competition. So
that's right.
That's like
if you don't do
your
the
name right on the
SATs. Yeah, if you don't do the landing part very well on one of them, you're out of the competition.
I think you get a third of your points on the SATs for just spelling your name right.
Right.
But now we got I see Glenn Davis. So we got the Pink Panther. Who's this from?
Very cool.
Rick Higginson. I've seen this before, but it looks like he put it in a competition. But I love it. I think I want to do that with the Panther I got on the wall behind me. The Pink Panther looks great.
I need to see we stick 2 of them together like you did the Lippish.
Oh, that would be nice. Or put half the lippage with the fuselage on each half.
Oh,
of that.
there you go. Put a
half
of it.
Well, put the fuselage next to it, so you got 3 EDFs together.
Oh my gosh!
There
you go. Put a Lippish in between 2 Panthers. Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
mind blowing.
That would be nice. We got RC Pilot H. They were out having some fun with some Eurofighters and a Tomcat. See him around YouTube and such. We've definitely shared numerous of his videos and posts, but just threw out some pictures. Looks like they were having a good time out there.
Jeff is asking if there's trophies for last place. Nope, they only do trophies up to 3rd.
They should do a toilet bowl trophy. Like if you are,
that would
like
be
if
hilarious.
You crashed on takeoff of your first flight.
Best crash trophy.
I don't think anybody
all melted and bent.
There was only one turbine that went in actually during the competing rounds. Both the other accidents were just. Oh no, well I guess the King Air went in on it.
I think the King Air was during a round.
Was being judged, yeah. Oh, that stinks. All right, moving on. RC Air Shenanigans shared a couple great pics with playing with the water, where they were the A4 and the F4. And then I used the A10, had to make that the community. I think I made it the community photo. If you share good photos in the community, I'll happily pop one up and put your name on it for the, the little header at the top of the group. Yeah, the A10, there you go, with the mountains in the back. Like, there. That's a mean picture. I like it. That is jealous.
I'm jealous of
Always
the snow,
good.
but jealous of...
Yeah, 100%. You got it right.
Now this was cool. So there was a guy took his MiG-21. Nick Vescio? Vescio. It's Vescio.
Yeah.
Vescio. Vescio. I don't think you pronounce the C in that instance. Sounds Italian. Might be Italian. I don't know. Close. But anyway, painted up. So there's I didn't even realize, but like if you show the next picture, like, so this exists somewhere in the Ukraine. I believe. Yeah, it's like, it's like a static display that's, prominently placed somewhere, but he wanted to do the scheme, so he did, and then this was the final picture of it complete. But it looks cool. Always cool.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Yeah, when you model something after something that's real, always interesting. It was cool to see that. Oh, and then this one is, I'll never know, Mr. Mark McScort. We've had him up there. I don't know if I've ever actually had to say that.
That is one wild paint job.
But that is a wild 2 F-22s, and one is like Transformers up. But then the other one's cool with the blue. I like the blue on the wings and on the stab. Put a little color in it, makes it pop.
Totally.
But happy to see that. Always good going through the community. Now this was cool. Was this Mike Glenn? Mike Green. I love that Spitfire. There are a couple in-air shots. They were just a little too blurry. Didn't look great. But that one really shows it off nicely. I love that color on it. So nice to see. Thanks for sharing. Is this McSnort? No, this isn't. Michael Rosnick. He's in here. Delta Dart himself. He's always the heli picture man. He's always doing a good job. I don't know what this one heli is though. That like blue one. Like he posted a couple. I love it. It's so. Glenn Davis is here. He'll know exactly what it is right off the top. Blades of Thunder, but that is cool.
What was it?
Yeah. What purpose does that heli serve? Is it a recon heli? It looks like maybe it tows some, like pick something up, lift something. Is it a lifter? Like seeing a model, you don't know how big the real one might actually be. Is it a gigantic heli, or is it a, in real life, would it be like a smaller heli? Dragfly. Dragonfly. There it is. All right, now what does the Dragonfly do, Glenn? Quickly go to Wikipedia, copy paste, and drop it in the comments for me. What'd you say?
I think it was a reconnaissance helicopter, and I think this was a very early helicopter.
Rescue and liaison. Okay, cool. So with both lift things, people probably. Yeah, it looks like something that might pull people out of the ocean. Something like that, or off a mountain. 3-person heli. Nice. Thank you, Glenn. And we're showing your Batman copters coming up here. The Batcopter, you didn't think I'd miss that one. I saw that right away. They painted up a rotor scale one, a little bird, turned it into like the 60s Batcopter. It's awesome. Yeah, spoilers for about 5 minutes from now.
I saw one today that I don't think it made it in here either. That was great. It's a Star Wars one. He called it the L-Wing. Yeah, it's the L-Wing. It's an L-39 painted up like an X-Wing. Oh, it's going to be great.
Did he put two wings like going 45 degrees?
No, but he had the R2-D2 in the back, and he had put like a Luke Skywalker flying. I'll have to find the picture. We'll do it next month for sure.
Oh, I missed it.
I
always see that picture of the A-10 like an X-Wing, where they take
look at this
4
shot,
wings. But this shot is great.
The blurry background. Oh.
Christian out on the the pictures with the ice lake, which I hope doesn't still exist at this point in May, but it might. Maybe these are older pictures, but this is awesome. Just a good looking shot.
Amazing.
Oh, then we had some tanks here. Jeffrey Mullins. Not just really the tank itself, but he has all like the guys on it. Looks like he's got some detail work, like all the little. We sell a lot of these little accessories now. If you guys check our tank section or just the accessory section, like we have a lot of 1/16 scale, ammunition crates and rigging, and it's this guy went hard. Yeah. I think it was a mine. Yeah, it would like troll the ground or just smash into. I don't know.
Look at that.
Looks like you could do a little. Looks like you could do a little bit of everything with the front end on that tank.
I tell you, Fury Road up in here.
All around, just cool shot. Always love when
Need a guy
people,
on the front of it playing a guitar now.
don't just always share planes. And then this F-18 coming from Jason Laponin.
All the hell area.
Yeah,
It looks like there's LEDs underneath that part.
Oh,
they did a good job.
It really
I haven't
pops
flown
that
the F-18
orange.
in a while.
I haven't either.
We gotta get back out with it.
I got a gray one. I've got to do my custom paint job on. I think I'm going to make it my Motion RC plane. I've been wanting to have one crazy motioned out airplane.
We need these shows
That one
more
may
often.
be it.
Hey, fortunate to be a We've been going live every week this whole year. Not with this specific sharing of the customer community type show, but
Yeah, we've done
every week this
a
year
live.
we've been live, you know.
Yep.
I'm just not, I guess, not promoting it as much, but every week we're coming live somewhere. I mean, last week we were live from Top Gun. I
Yep.
wanted to try to do this there at Top Gun, but it was very hard to try to set up it was so windy, and
Right.
it was hard to find a spot. And then Wes had, when they started rushing the rounds, it's like you would have never been able to
I
just
would have
sort of
never been
sit
able
down
to
and
stop.
relax. And then with
Nope.
the people asking, like, to get an hour to do it that way, it was easier to just walk around.
And
That
I
one
think the week
time.
before that, you did the Nimitz. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
like I said, we do a live show almost every week, guys. It's just we
Yeah,
do
we'll
the
be back.
first Friday of the month is our super produced one.
Yeah, where
So-
we sort of recap everything. Yeah, we're trying to give you a live every week at least.
Yeah, Glenn Davis, don't miss
So-
it. Just come watch it. We doing a
Yeah.
weekly live show every week right now. Still,
Yeah, check the playlist. They're all in there. Always fun. And this is a
It's not fun.
V1 Goshawk from James Bowen. So this was the one version that would have had the slats, but James always shares that. And then he had something else. F-86 that he's working on. Check this one out. With the
I
tiger
love the
stripes on
tigers.
it.
It's
I love it.
great.
It's great. And the black and white striping. The hot looking F-86 and the white nose.
And
I like it.
maybe for the guys that are saying they're missing the weekly live show, make sure you've hit the bell on Motion RC's YouTube channel. That way, you actually get a notification anytime we go live. That is a setting in YouTube, so you may not be seeing our lives go live if you don't have that bell ring.
This is true. Now we had a Neptune, so I had shared this and accidentally thought it was the EDF Neptune. Somebody's like, no, it's the prop Neptune. We have two versions. I didn't realize, but it's like a police patrol version of
It's pretty sweet.
just black, white. I thought it was.
I hope we
pretty
made the
cool.
lists actually work on top of the canopy. That'd be hilarious.
Do 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 do.
Yeah, put
Yeah.
a little siren in there.
If he went that hard, I hope he 100% did. Now I want to go ask him.
Low passes at the field.
That's right. The low pass police.
That thing pops up at Top Gun, flies behind your plane when you mess up a maneuver.
You better land that
That's
plane.
right.
I'm landing for you.
He flew over the school. Go get him.
Nice. Oh, and
Oh,
then this
man.
one was Glenn Davis. Here he is with his Cobra and a couple tanks. Put some
Squad.
pictures together. Got the squad out there. His wife plays with the tanks as well, I believe. But I like seeing that. And then we'll get back to you in a second. Now, this one was cool. The
Oh, I
Southwest
love it.
American flag AL-37.
I've seriously debated on doing the Florida one.
You know, the EDF
For down
class
here.
champion aircraft
That's
here
right.
at Top
That's
Gun.
right. Top
So
Gun.
anyone who owns
EDF
an
champion.
AL-37 is a champion right now. Call yourself a champion because you are.
You own an award-winning aircraft.
Because amazing pilot named Boli Montez killed Wes in the EDF class
Right.
by,
If you
by
want the,
flying
if you
that
want
airline
the second best airplane, you can buy a Eurofighter.
like he owned it. That was great. He called
Well,
you
it's
out.
cool because he is a
you
real
called him
pilot,
out.
and that's the airplane he flies in real life that he actually painted it up as.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So that's the even cooler part about him.
Yeah.
Let him know.
He totally needs to take it out and take a picture of it in front of the.
Oh,
real plane.
sorry, it was Apache. My bad. I was thinking of his other one. We just
Oh.
had the Cobra. I made the Cobra video the other day. I called an Apache a Cobra. Oh my!
Oh, you're fired.
Cancel
Get out
me.
of here.
Cancel me. What else we got? Oh, Voodoo. So now you have somebody to
Voodoo.
race. That Dago
There you
video
go.
got a lot of views.
Holy cow! I know it got like 20,000 views the first week. I
A
was
lot of
blown
people were
away.
interested in the next Dago Red, so we're gonna have to do the Voodoo video as well. You know, they're the same. You can use the
Right.
flight video of the Dago. It's the exact same model, just different scheme, right?
Yep.
I don't
Hey,
think
what's up,
anything really
Wild Bill?
changed about it.
Hola. Welcome
Wild
in.
Bill, what's up, man? And then there he is himself. This is the AL37 winner and his
Yep, there
daughter.
he
She
is.
was helping him out all weekend. And it's Carol Sciano. And I forget the other guy's name.
Jerry's in the comments. Tell us the other guy's name.
Jerry, the other guy's name. I feel like I didn't catch him all weekend, and then he was there giving out trophies.
Right.
I think I
didn't
saw
get
him
to
at
talk
the
to him too much
dinner the
either.
night before, but yeah. A lot of people are busy, especially
Yeah,
all the
oh,
judges and stuff. Those
You're
guys are like-
crazy busy out there.
it's a busy event. You kind of just stay out of the way. So, but yeah, there's first place winner. And then what do we got? Oh, Blades of Thunder. Here he is. So Glenn, if you want to check him out, check this out. They got the yellow blades. So this, I believe, is the 450 Little Bird rotor scale
Yep.
that they
that's the same
painted
one
up
that I've got over here.
to the Adam West Batcopter. This has to be the Adam West Batcopter.
Sick. Very.
It just
cool.
looks so good though with the yellow blades. It looks so
Yeah,
cool.
I've got the police version of this sitting here right now. We're hoping to get out with very soon. So
I want him to
now that we
mail it
got
to
the
me.
Top Gun.
I just want that heli as is.
I wish you would have told me. I could have gave you this one when you were here.
No, well, if you paint it up like this, then I'll take it.
All right, I can paint
And
it up.
obviously put like something in it that I can fly.
We
I
got
can
this.
fly it
We
real
got
easy.
this. I'll get you set up.
Put the
We'll put-
system
we'll-
that comes with the fly wing in there, and then I'll fly that around happily.
All right.
the time.
I need to figure something to put it in, so maybe we can make that happen.
Kind of cool.
Captain Drone, we salute.
Oh, this is yeah. So Captain Drone is a YouTube channel, and this guy just released a video. He does a lot of drone stuff. See a lot of RC stuff. He has 300-something thousand subscribers. Came across and he out of nowhere had a Banshee and a Vulcan, and he's doing speed tests on them. So he has a whole video on his page of the 64mm Banshee versus the 70mm Vulcan, and
Sweet.
that was a cool video. Very great production value on his stuff. I guess I never came across his stuff a long time ago because, he's doing a different niche of RC that I just never, search around on YouTube. But then, your sidebar all of a sudden will pop up with basically anytime anyone releases free wing on the YouTube, I'm seeing it. It
Yep.
pops up on there. And I thought that was kind of cool. So go check him out, Captain Drone. He's got a great channel there, especially if you're into drone stuff and things like that too. He does a lot of that. And then who was this? RC. Oh yeah, RC plane reviewer. I thought this was cool. So they got the AL37. They did a night video. So it pops up. It's
Sick
hard
looking
to
with the
film
lights
at
all
night.
over it.
It's hard to film at night. It's
Oh,
never
yeah.
going to look super crisp unless you have the right camera for low light. But yeah, you could tell that, I never got a chance to fly the AL37 in the dark. If we do go to Joe Nall, I may have to bring it, Alex. I always want to put it through the fuselage and cut out some windows.
Ooh,
know?
that'd be cool. Light the
So then
inside
it, like,
of it up.
yeah, so you see it, but it's just like the walls are pretty thick there. So I don't know. You'd have to dig out a lot to get into the windows. And then I'd want to put, obviously, like a piece of plastic
it might
over
even
the
be
hole.
cool. It would even be cool if you could take and string a few different LEDs and just put them behind each of the windows, so it's random, and they just light up through the window hole.
Well, yeah, my
itself.
thought process was just put the LEDs inside and then just cut out some full windows, cut out some half, and just leave the other ones alone. So the light would only pop through.
All right,
Yeah.
one of you guys down there in the comments, make this
The ones
happen.
over there.
We want to
Can it
see
be
a
done?
we want to see a AL37 with light up windows. Come on.
Let's do it. I always thought that would be cool. I don't know. Is that
Would
the
be
end
cool.
of That's the end of the customer community. So Wes, that'll bring us to what I have on the table for me. So I'm gonna push you over for a little bit, and we're gonna talk some Bancroft boats. So now I said wrongly in the title. That would be unboxing. I filmed the unboxings, but we didn't actually edit that footage for the show. So those will come up for these, but very similar to the other ones. But I pulled these out of the box, so I have the 1/200 scale Yamato, which is closer to me, which is the big one you're seeing now, and the 1/200 scale German Bismarck battleships, which again scale to the mighty Mo behind me, the Missouri. So we brought yesterday. Alex and I took the Nimitz, both of these, and the Missouri out to the lake, and man, they look really cool together. I mean, when we got the Missouri, you guys saw that live here. I believe we unboxed it, or I've definitely had it on the show before. These are just as highly detailed and just as cool. So in real life, the Bismarck was the smallest of the 3 battleships. It's just cool that they're all, relation. Now, I tried to get all 3 battleships in the lake at the same time. But what we ended up doing, we need multiple.
Northwestern Georgia.
Yeah, because first we wanted to get a shot of the Missouri with the Nimitz, just the 2 American ships. So then on the web pages we could show, that they scale to each other. Obviously they never would have met in real life. But there we are. So I put both of them out there, and Alex is trying to film, and now the chops started kicking up and the wind, and I'm trying to manipulate both. Like, I'm putting transmitters down and forward and trying to get them close enough. I didn't want to hit them. My goodness. So, the thought that I was going to put all 4 of them in the water and get a good shot of all together went out the window when we tried to do these 2. So I never got all 3 battleships. I'm going to need someone else there with me. I'm thinking of bringing just the 3 battleships down to Jonal maybe, and then we could have a few people drive them together, or sail them together, if you will. But they look great in the water, and we can, Alex can start showing one at a time here if you want. Been on one. Did the Bismarck roll over and sink? So we're showing off these, but now they all run. Again, these are all ready to run. They come out of the box pretty much as you see them. With the Yamato, which you're seeing now, again, you just got to pop the turrets on, and all they do is slide in. And both of these battleships, unlike the Missouri's, actually kind of easier to get inside. They don't have any screws, the way the Missouri has 4 screws that you have to undo to take the top off, to get into it, to put plug your battery in, turn it on. These don't need that. But the Yamato itself, interesting enough, so the Yamato in real life was just a little shorter than the Missouri, so that would be reflected. I could bring the Missouri over here in a second, but it's a lot wider. I didn't realize how much wider the Yamato is than the Missouri. Man, it must have been a beast of a battleship to have seen in real life. Pretty too. I love the color distinction on the Japanese one when it was in the water, the German one, and then just in the camera it looked really cool. But it's got all the rigging. Again, all this is there's brass and metal components. So these all the railings is metal. It's real hard wood on the deck. Your turrets are going to be plastic mixed with metal. Like the guns are mostly these edges might be plastic, but then all the metal railing, that's all metal. Real cloth wrapped around the bases of the turrets, and then just all the detail, like the chain, real chain that gets glued down onto it. Cool. And then on the inside, I can't take this off now, but on the inside would be again, all fiberglass. The hull inside, completely waterproof and works well. I had to put about 10 pounds in the Yamato to get this one to ballast, and that weight was everywhere. So it's pretty heavy as is at the moment, but I had to put more weight in that than the Missouri, and I assume because it's a little wider, and it does sit a little taller than the other 2, so it just needed more going down. So Glenn, it was about 10 pounds. The Bismarck, maybe about 7 pounds. Didn't need as much, but it's also a thinner boat, and it's shorter, but cool, iconic with those two cranes, like, and instantly when you put the two cranes on, how they're coming off the sides, like that just, the one or two shots you see of the Bismarck, that's something you see on it. And it's just interesting because obviously the Yamato and the Missouri were similar in that they had the systems to get the two fighter jets off in the back, whereas the Bismarck, it was like in the middle. And just looking at this, I don't even know how that would have worked, where the where they stuck the how they shot the float planes off if they needed to. But all around, just cool to have all three of them. Obviously, none of them would have ever met in real life, but they were all there at some point. Wes, what do you think of these bad boys?
They're pretty awesome. I wish that you still had the one I have sitting in front of me right now too, because it's also 1/200 scale. So
Yeah,
we
well,
have
you have-
all four of them. I should have gave you this one back when you were here.
Well, now the
'Cause you can
Nagato,
pick it up.
that was a battleship as well, I think.
Yeah, I've got
Yeah.
it sitting in front of me right now too. So I pulled it down real
Yeah.
quick while you were talking about that. But yeah, I mean, these Bancroft battleships are amazing, and I want to see the Bismarck because the Bismarck has always been one of my favorite ships. And
Really?
I want to see it in person. Let me say that. Yeah. Oh, I'm jealous you got that one. I think it's such a cool boat. Just the history behind it, and I like I said, I have one here in front of me. I've been able to see these in person. There's something about when you see these battleships actually in front of you. I mean, they are amazing to you. I mean, the scale, the little decking that's on these things. I mean, it's unbelievable. Somebody sat here and put all these little deckings in, and the little ropes that are put on all the little reels, and it's crazy. They're unbelievable.
You could totally see the, like obviously a lot of the parts are going to be machined, but everything's placed in there by hand. There's no other way
Right.
to do it. A
No other
machine's
way.
not placing each one through. And like the wood decking, like you can see that I think parts of it are snapped together, but like that has to be. You could see where they cut out, and you could see like minor
There's no way.
imperfections
All
that
these
only a
little
hand would
guns.
do and not a machine. So a lot of work goes into producing these things. For you to be able to take it out of the box and literally just slap on some turrets and accessories,
Yeah, I mean,
and get that on your display. And then the fact that you could drop it in your pool or, at the lake where I was. It's funny, at the lake they always get attention whenever we go out there.
Oh,
People always walk by and just say,
always.
"That is so
How
cool."
much is that?
Especially the
We-
boaters when they're taking their boats out, and I drove the aircraft carrier near them or something. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, we
Mhm.
go to this retirement community when we film this. There's this pond out there, and every single person that comes by on their golf cart's like, "Oh my gosh, let me stop. Let me take pictures of it. Can I take pictures to show my grandkids this?" I mean, they bring a lot of attention out, way more than an RC plane. When you bring this to a pond, it's like everybody wants to come look at these things. I mean, and they're big. Like you said, I have one of
Glenn.
the smaller boats.
I want to ask Glenn,
mean,
what would
still.
be like the main British warship? Like, what would be the main World War II British warship that, if you put it in 200 scale, that you'd want to see? Let me know.
Yeah, because
Again,
I'm sure
let me,
this is not the end of the round. That they're gonna keep
I'll-
coming.
I will quickly, let me do this, because then Alex can at least, down the line, I'm going to stick the Missouri between these. So I'm going to move my mic.
You
We're
know,
gonna
and
do
I
this
was lucky
again?
enough. I was
We're
lucky
gonna do
enough
this
to pick up a few of these boats from James when he was down here too. Now mine aren't the 1/200 scales. I got the landing craft from him and the
I
PT
dropped a
boat.
boat.
So, you dropped which boat?
Small little.
Oh, not one of the expensive ones.
Not one of these.
Okay, I was gonna say, oh no,
No.
you're fired.
You're fine. But here we go. So I'm gonna line them up.
Oh man, look at
It
him though.
won't matter to you, but you can see. So Mighty Mo now in the middle.
Here, Alex,
They're
if you
all
want to take
200
me off for a
scale.
second so they
Yeah.
can see it.
But
Yeah, go
You can
full in.
see how much thicker
Boom.
the Yamato is. Alex can even slide on that.
There you go.
He could slide that camera down.
Look
it's
at those
really
bad
cool.
boys.
You know, I mean,
The
to have all
Yamato is an
three here
impressive boat.
just the HMS Rooney, the HMS Rodney, sorry, the HMS Rodney. I don't know anything about the HMS Rodney. Now I gotta Google the HMS Rodney.
Uh,
I'll admit
do
it
these
doesn't
have
quite
all
sound
the
as cool as Missouri, Yamato, or Bismarck,
The hood,
but
the HMS
The
hood,
who?
let's go.
the
Rodney.
They
HMS
took
Hood.
down the Bismarck.
That's the one. Yeah, that's
the
one.
hood. That's the one.
That sounds
Yeah.
mean.
Right. Now, did these have all the flying wires and everything across the top too? Yeah.
Well, now so the Yamato is actually the only one that has the full wires rigging going from the back to top, and this one's actually kind of cool because back here, the crane, which can be manipulated up and down, what's it called? The rigging, you got to put it over the top, and it like stabilizes the crane and then down the back. But you just literally just unhook. They're just little hooks, 2 hooks, and then that whole top comes off. No screws on the Yamato. Whereas
Nice.
the Missouri, you're hiding 4 screws, which is a bit of a pain in the butt. If you just have the Allen key, you're gonna sit there for a minute or two, taking the screws out. Not the end of the world, but and then the Bismarck, like I could do the Bismarck here. Just has 2 wires. There's actually the Bismarck has 2 hatches. So this is one piece. On the Yamato, it's one piece, and you get in this one. This whole front piece is one, and this piece is another. So if
nice.
I could do it to this one.
Not to make you have to take them apart. I've done it enough with mine too to understand.
Yeah, it's a pain in the butt. Well, I know you understand.
It's part
right
of
now.
it.
You're the viewer. Somebody out there might see this video, not have any idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I understand completely.
You take off our little plane, and then you can just pops right off. One covers off, and then the next one comes right up and out. Like, so that one's really, really simple to get easy access into. And this would be, you're going to see this video's coming in like a week. We got the Nimitz ones coming out probably Tuesday. Us driving just the Nimitz by itself. That's something we just had so many videos, and then Top Gun kind of pushed a lot of our.
Right.
I wanted to get Top Gun videos out of the way. I hate like bleeding them out over time. Like, feel like we got enough of it. We put our exclamation point on it, and now we'll get back into more stuff like this. But all around, super easy to get into. The Missouri actually is the only one that doesn't have any rigging that you have to unattach at all. All the rigging is included on the one piece, which makes that one nice. Whereas the Titanic had 3 bits of rigging, but at least I remember when I took that one out of the box, I was nervous. Am I going to have to take this top rigging off every time I want to get in? But you didn't have to. That stays fixed, the one that goes across the top, and you just had to take a few rigging. But I will admit, like, something about the rigging on the Yamato, I love these old ships that have the rigging on there. It adds like an element to it. Like, I love with the Yamato, putting the flag on the rigging, and when the when you're sailing it and the wind catches it, it's flapping kind of as if it would be real.
No, I agree completely. I have the same thing with this one. You've got to unclip both ends of this one to take the center section off. And yeah, I understand your pain though.
Yeah,
you move very slowly with your boats, guys. That's the big thing. If you get one of these, don't be in a rush to take the top on and off. Give yourself some space. Give yourself a little time.
There's no patience with these things. What were you going to say, Alex?
I think our buddy Smithy in chat is saying his grandfather was master of arms, one of the British warships.
Hood
or the
Master of
King George?
I can't scroll up now, so I miss it. Read what it is.
Well, Smithy and Glenn Davis are going back and forth about a little history lesson.
Okay.
He said Granddad Smith was the master of arms owner.
That's awesome.
Can you elaborate, Smithy?
Yeah, elaborate.
Awesome.
We got to have that. Maybe that sounds like a future video we need to have happen. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
So again,
and I see guys trying to compare these to airplanes. It's to each their own, guys. Just don't forget the first time you saw something RC like this might have been the coolest thing you could have ever thought of as one of these boats. And some guys feel that way. They can't stand an airplane. They want a boat, So just remember, there's something in RC for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, I get you see the comments on here. If they were the same price as your free wing planes, I'm like, could this be the same price as a free wing plane? The
This is
materials are completely different. The
yeah.
time
When
it
you
takes
see
to
one of
make
these,
something of this versus that,
yeah,
it's a whole different process. Like, what are we basing it on? I
right.
always get the comments on these. The most go-to comment is, "I could buy all the parts and make it myself." Okay,
Have
buddy,
fun.
Okay,
you go
do
get
it.
to work. Tell me how much time and money you spend, and let's see if it comes anywhere near. If time isn't money to you, then it is to a lot
Yeah,
of people. I
because you
would
got to
love to
think
see
this
someone
boat
build this.
would
The
take
fact that there are people out there who build
hours.
these things on their own,
Oh yeah.
and take the
The
time,
other
but it
fun
takes a
thing is
lot of effort.
it's a great starting point for somebody that wants to take one to the next level. It's all your bases are painted already. Now you can do
Yep.
your weathering on top of this. I've been weathering on the landing craft over there, and it's so easy because it's already got the base coats all in it. It's done. Then you just get to take it to that next level.
Yep.
It's fun.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Crazy.
Oh, cool.
Every time I look at this thing, I see new details too. I don't know if you're the same way. When you sat here and look at your boat ever, I always miss something and see something new on these boats. It's crazy.
That is true. I just look around, like, all the armament on these.
Guns everywhere. Right.
Now the Yamato got, am I correct? Yamato got sank at Midway. It got right.
That sounds correct. I can't remember if it was at Midway or not. It definitely got sank though.
It's in one of those movies. I think isn't it? But didn't they hit? I'm forgetting. Me and Alex were talking about it, but isn't the one like didn't it get hit on the top deck? And
munitions.
There was munitions somewhere nearby,
Right, and it blew up.
Sad. So that thing's laying at the bottom of the Pacific somewhere. That's scary. With how big
It is crazy if you think about it. I'm sure there's
then
probably
having them in the water and seeing then the aircraft carrier makes these
it
things look
dwarfs
small,
these things.
Makes it look like a baby's toy.
It is amazing how
With
much
everything
bigger
on it.
our battleships are now compared to what these were. It's amazing.
Do we even have a battleship? I don't think there are battleships anymore.
Yeah, there are. Yeah.
There
There's
are
still
actual
battleships.
Battleships?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I thought we were
Yes.
done with battleships just because everything else sort of.
We still have them.
I think an aircraft carrier now has more armament than or more munition this thing would.
Not as many as these.
Not as many, but very
yes,
advanced.
They still have them.
Equipment that's going to take you out.
Yeah, they actually have.
Yeah,
some of the
right
new
now,
ships.
no
You see them,
battleships
they
in the
got,
U.S. Navy lineup. I told
No?
you. I finally got something right on West.
Dang, I thought they still had a battleship
No,
going.
I think they just.
And I know they have those new ones
They were
that are
destroyers, cruisers. Like they have, obviously other types of, the aircraft carriers don't go alone. They have an aircraft carrier.
They have their support ships, and I thought
Support ships
well,
that
it'd be
hang
a
with it.
destroyer. Yeah.
But yeah. Now I'm looking at Final Countdown. Had the Nimitz rolled up, anywhere near the Yamato would have been over in a heartbeat. That thing would have been gone in a heartbeat.
My naval knowledge is not as good as James on this one. We'll let him have
all
it.
Four
I'm the airplane guy.
All four Iowa class battleships are museums.
There you go.
So I know Missouri's in Hawaii, right? The Intrepid was one. No, was that an aircraft carrier? That was the aircraft carrier that's parked in New York. I thought.
You got me on boats knowledge.
I don't know. I don't have a lot of notes. Yeah, I'm just.
Don't worry. Yeah, they'll tell us. Don't worry. They'll tell us. I don't know. They're awesome, and I'm learning a lot about battleships from my current position. It's been really cool.
Except about how many there are today.
Except for how many there aren't today. Hey, we don't have any of them that are in the ones.
You haven't gotten to present day history books.
That's right. We're still working on our World War II boats.
Yeah, I'm moving things over now. Give me a second. I want to sit back down. I'm standing there like a.
Hey, I'm learning. That was half of the fun of this, was learning the history of these boats,
All right, move this thing. Mighty Mo. I want to be very careful around these
The
things.
Intrepid is a carrier in New York. There you go.
Was a carrier in New York. Yeah, I've been on the Intrepid a bunch of times living there. Was a carrier. Remember, because
North Carolina currently still exists. North Carolina, 4 Iowas, and 2 is South Dakota class.
Dakota classes. 4 Iowas, 2 South Dakota. Oh, I'm sorry. How crazy will the 150 Missouri be? I don't know. I mean, I've seen it on the website. It'll probably definitely eventually come. There's a couple of, they would be, again, a quarter bigger than this.
Huge.
As far as scale goes. So I don't know if that's going to it'll probably put it the Nimitz size. But then I only imagine what, obviously everything bigger. Maybe like in here you're going to see more rivets
Right.
within the inside. Maybe some cabins can actually open and close. I don't know. But I'll be happy for them to send me one to find out.
It is cool too. I like sitting here right now with the light shining through this. I never noticed that the actual like driving area, the bridge is clear. You can actually see through it. I never noticed that on this one, and there's actually stuff inside of it. I don't know if you're.
I had that one here. I forget now how big. Obviously, the Yamato's bigger than it.
Oh yeah, I think this is definitely the smallest of the
time.
3 ships you have. But there you go.
Just surrounded.
There you go.
Them.
You can see me holding it. There you go.
That looks about Bismarck size.
Yeah, definitely a little smaller.
That puny Bismarck. So
the puny.
I was just shocked at how wide the Yamato was.
Right, I seen the pictures of it when you sent it to me, and I was like, "Wow, she got some girth."
But you could see, like, I don't. It's funny because the Bismarck looks like something engineered entirely differently. The four guns, like, whereas these two almost look like, somebody copied someone. Somebody got into somebody's homework because there's a lot of similarities with them. Like I said, with the planes, the crane in the back, like, how two different competing came up with very similar designs. I always wonder about that, because they look pretty similar. I will say something about the Yamato, though, just has a very cooler, the rounded edges inside of it and stuff, like, just different but cool.
Yeah.
Nonetheless.
I like all the little planes, too. I know that you've got the one there with the airplanes on it, too, but I love the little details of those, how they would launch them off.
So CH has Japanese valued high pagoda-style superstructures for increased sighting.
There you go.
Looking at them, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, I'd want to be riding right here on this one, like right there up in the top. Check it all out.
Like
crazy.
Lieutenant Dan style. Just sitting up there yelling at the storm.
Right.
What's funny though, when you take it to the lake, a boat will pass and you watch these, just your average wake waves will come by and rock these things. So then you imagine being on one of these, no matter how big they are, like even the aircraft carrier, how big it is. When waves want to rock it and take it out,
That's right.
The ocean will take it out like a baby's toy. So we're watching like, the Nimitz crest these big things, trying to think, imagine it's being stuck. Obviously they're probably never stuck in big storms. They know what's coming. But, if the ocean ever wanted to, could flip these things, you never see it again. Just take it in with it. Be like, yeah, you're coming with me now. Crazy. It is all around cool. But guys, so then coming up, Wes, you are going to start working on the Black Horse Corsair finally.
Yes, it's done right now. We just need to run it. Top Gun kind of slowed me down on that, but yes, it is completely built. It is ready to go. We actually had it at Top Gun with us, so a lot of guys came out and checked it out.
I wanted to fly it.
We are at the point of running it in. And after we get the videos done of flying that airplane, maybe it's going to go live with James. I know he's been after it for quite a while. So maybe that'll be his first big gasser.
I want to fly it. I just want to fly it with the gas motor all set up. I don't want to do any work.
There you go. You just want to show up and be like, hey, Wes.
Just set it up, hand me the sticks, and, and I'm ready to go.
And I'm sure we can get there with that one. And then I know that I'm getting the Black Horse S-Bach right now. That one will be set up on electric, so it should be a pretty quick turnaround on that airplane. Like I said, we just kind of got slowed down by a few projects here lately on the Corsair. Like I said, it's built, but yes, coming soon to a theater near you.
Cool. I've got some buggies I'm doing. Obviously, the boats. We filmed the videos for the Yamato, the Bismarck, the Nimitz video still coming. soon, and then some other things.
At
This
some
month's gonna be
point,
fun. Like I said, me and Alex are gonna try to get over to Joe Knoll for one of the days, maybe next week. I think it's gonna be next week. It has to be next week. We have no choice. We're going.
right?
Alex
I've
just
got
found out now, so he's a little mad at me. But
I've got the
we're
1600
gonna go. We're
millimeter
gonna
Corsair,
film,
which would be
and we're
fun
gonna get
too.
some footage and have
Yeah.
some fun.
Yeah, and like I said, this month I want to get the 1600 millimeter Corsair out and put that together. We've got Warbirds over Jacksonville on Memorial Day weekend coming up, so I'd like to take that airplane up there with us.
That's my birthday weekend, so I will not.
That's all good. Y'all go to Joe
I'll
Knoll. I'll
down
take
there.
care of Jacksonville. Look at that. We'll hit both together.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. And who knows? Maybe
Whatever
we'll be able
happened to
fly
the
Corsair
Hellcat
out
that
there.
had the tailplane flutter? Wes has that Hellcat. You flew it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I've flown it. We
He did the video.
we
He
redid
ripped
it.
the gas engine out and put a smaller
Yep.
one in.
Yeah, if you go back, Glenn Davis, there are updated videos of it. I ended up taking the 17cc that was on it and putting a 9cc Admiral motor on there. And we went out and flew it a bunch. It flies beautifully, actually. And it's sitting right over there. I mean, I could go out and fly it again right now if we really wanted to.
Oh, and
so
I
it's
dropped,
set up and ready.
and to you, I also dropped you the, I'd flown it, but the Nexa P40 you have
P40,
now.
yep.
So you may either re-scheme it or whatever, but
Yeah, y'all
come
probably
up with
going to
another
see us
video
do
on
that
it.
one. For
that was a
sure.
fun one to fly. That was the one that I crunched the landing gear on the first time I went to land it. I had to replace those and try again, and then it was fine.
Yeah, that one will
I-
be coming for sure.
I stalled it a little over the runway, and hey, what are you gonna do?
Happens. Hey, you got to learn all about repairs.
I would have got like 3 points on Top Gun scoring if I would have landed like that.
Said it was your emergency landing.
Boom.
Boom.
But yeah, probably. Oh, it was definitely too powerful, Glenn, and that was it was my first time. Hey, I'm just happy I even flew it. Like I managed to install a gas motor and get it in the air with the
Yes.
gas motor. Get that
if you
crazy
put-
video flutter, and then
If you put the 17 on your Hellcat, it will fly. Just don't go full throttle. It's like
Yeah.
putting too big of a motor in anything. There you go. Somebody's got the Hellcat video dropped. There we go.
there you go.
But yeah, I ended up putting the 17 on there, and I mean, you can put it around at half throttle, and it flies just beautifully.
Yeah, well, it's like anything, people always want to get more and more out of it, but sometimes airframes are made for what they got, and you can't, then you're just sacrificing, putting the airframe in untested conditions, and that's what happens, it was just way too powerful for what that aircraft needed. You see it a lot, I feel like, with, it's like the Shrike, right? The Shrike is a glider with a,
Right.
motor in the front. It can go pretty quick, but if you take it up super high and dive and try to race the thing, you're going to lock out your aileron. Like, it's going to put too much bend in the wings. It's going to lock out your aileron. You're not going to be able to turn it. You're just going to have an accident because the airframe isn't designed.
Right. If you want
to
a
go that
racing
fast.
airplane, buy a racing airplane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it might look like a hotliner, but you need an actual hotliner to do hotliner maneuvers, not a glider. Things
You
like
knew that question was
Um,
coming at some point. Any new free wing EDFs? Always.
Maybe.
There's always something
Yeah,
coming.
there's always something new. Yeah.
Always.
Hang tight. Stay subscribed. Hit the notification bell.
It's the best thing we can tell you. Hit that bell and find out as soon as we release something. That's the best way.
Yeah. I mean, I could say yes. but
Yes.
I think I could always say yes at any point in the
Right.
in the year.
Right.
But
There's
yes,
always something.
six free wing jets, 1 Top Gun. That was
Yes.
pretty good. It was great. Duck sauce
Any hint?
FPV,
Nope.
no hints. Go open a
Nope.
fortune cookie or something. Maybe you'll get one in there.
You'll find out when we all find out.
I can't
what
say
the next
anything.
one is. Nope, can't say nothing.
Not allowed. Happened to lots of World War II props approaching supersonic in a dive. I bet. I mean, back then you don't know what you're pushing things to the limit because you have to. Yeah, right. But yeah, man. So if there's any other questions aside from what's next, because I can never tell you that.
Yep.
Some ideas
Find
for
out
free wing.
soon enough.
Cougar, F-105
Long enough.
Thunder Chief, 70 millimeter or larger. Wall Street will. We will take that into note.
Yeah.
Were you able to find out about FPV at Top Gun? No, I don't think they'd let you fly FPV at Top Gun. That's
I have no idea. Best thing I
that
would
might
tell
be
you is go
something.
look at the rule book.
If Top Gun grows and they want to add another class, like add an FPV class. But
I would
honestly,
say
I don't know if flying FPV
What?
is going to be any better for you doing like an Immelman.
I don't know.
Something like that. Like I think it would have to be judged on its own merit. The judge would have to like wear the goggles and see what you're seeing. I just think it would cost too much. It's its own type of thing. I don't know if it would work well. Let's put it that way. How about a foam P40 1400 millimeter? Well, the Nexa is like 15 or 1600. The Nexa one looks, fits perfectly with the Corsair, the Spitfire from Flightline, and it's a solid flyer.
Mm-hmm.
Not hard to build either. But that could be on the list as well. MiG Red Tail Flyer. That might be the next one. We might be announcing that at 2 p.m. today. But we're not. But we're not.
Hit
We're
the
definitely
bell.
not.
Hit the bell
We're
to
definitely
find
not.
out.
We're
That's all I
definitely
can
not
tell you.
releasing that one. Now I can just mess with people.
That's right.
What time is it? Oh, it's already one. We are like 10 minutes
there,
over. I didn't
man.
realize we're so over. So
We've been having a good time and talking today. What
yeah,
can I
man.
say?
We got to get
not a bad
rocking and
thing.
rolling. We got to get on
That's right.
with the rest of our month
Let's
here.
do it.
But we'll definitely be back with something live at some point next week for sure.
Yep.
We'll let you know. We'll post up. Obviously, we always post the videos. Should send out a notification.
At least a day early. We always put
at least a day
notification out,
early,
guys. So
and I try to get it in the email now if I if I have enough warning. I try to tell us like today. If you check the email, you would have saw that we're going live here today. I said, oh, he keeps Floyd now. Someone else saying an IL-2. That would be cool, maybe. You never know.
that was one of my favorite video games. Was the IL-2 Russian Storm Navuk. It was such a good game where you went
For
and
what
flew
system?
the IL-2s. It was
For
on
what
computer. It's on Xbox also, I think.
Really?
Yeah, that was such a fun fighter game. You'll have to check it out. See if it's on PlayStation. You're a PlayStation guy.
Like I remember, what was the
IL-2 was such a fun game.
No, 1942 and 1943 for Nintendo.
Was
Those were the ones. That was like the original plane fighting
down.
games. Top down, right on top, trying to those were really cool. And then you had the one button where you could do like a barrel roll that you could climb over the bullets or underneath. That was a key, video
Look
game
at Dad's
experience
RC
of
over
my
here.
lifetime.
Dad's like, I'm always looking at the background of y'all's videos for any Easter eggs.
Oh, it might be some
one.
back there.
You never know.
Never know. Is there one back there? I don't even
I have
remember
no
anymore.
idea.
I put them there and then I forget they're there. And then eventually that thing that I got told is coming comes and it's like, oh yeah, it was there.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we'll see.
Oh.
But I don't know. We're getting a lot of cropped, these shows aren't the best for that. But guys, that's going to do it for us here today. So everybody, one last round of applause. Wesley, congratulations on your first Top Gun experience.
Love it.
We're going to hold off firing you until you don't come in first next year. So,
okay.
We're
I'm
going to
make
fire
it
you
next
without
year.
a first place
I'm going to
trophy,
enter
but
like 4 classes next
but
year.
you got
so we know
2
we're gonna win.
classes. And, we're going to go. So you're going to try to Buffalo Bills it all in one shot.
Right. Just going to ram it in there. We're going to go.
Lose all 4
Pro
classes
Jet,
at once.
Pro Prop, Sportsman, EDF. We're going to hit them all next year.
That would be awesome. Well, guys, that'll do it for us here. So, guys, again, thank you so much for the views this week. I hope you enjoyed the Top Gun content. Hope you enjoyed the live show. Check out some boats. We got those videos coming up. A lot of content coming. We've been having a video almost every day here as we go, and that's going to continue. And as always, guys, thank you so much for being a part of this, and we will see you next time at Motion RC.
Say it this way. High five, James.
Oh, you're the other way.
There we go.